Hey guys, welcome to Shay's Stew Afternoon Talk Time with Shay. All right. I wanted to come in this afternoon, actually it's still morning time here, because I want to do a really quick live. We're not going to be in here long for real. I know I say that all the time, but for real today, we're not going to be here long. I wasn't even going to do a live this morning, but after listening to some foolishness on TikTok, I decided to come and do this live. But before we do this live, let me wish you guys a happy and blessed Tuesday. I hope your Tuesday is going well. And let me ask you guys to do me a couple of favors. Let me ask you guys to thumbs up this video if you enjoy it. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And thank you guys so much. Let's go ahead and do that copyright disclaimer. First, let me change this back. Let's go ahead and do that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. Part of it is scrolling across that screen, and it will be posted in my comment section once I get the chance to. Okay? So, guys, get you something to eat, something to drink, in a relaxing chair, and let's go ahead and do this live. If you are at work, make sure that you continue to do your job and watch me on the download. All right. And thank you guys again for tuning in. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. As people come into my chat, I'll say, hey, if they don't, then it is what it is. But I wanted to do this video live versus a recording. Okay. So let me go ahead and turn this music down because we don't have that long to do this video for real. So let's turn this down so I can hear. We're going to turn it to 9. Okay. I think that's fun. Let's just put it on 10. It's hard to get it on 10, you guys. There it is. All right. So guys, I know you guys already know about the Karmelo incident and Austin Metcalf incident. As you already know, Karmelo is accused of knifing Metcalf in the chest after the victim had allegedly asked him to move from underneath his school's pop-up tent during, a track meet or something like that, I believe. Okay. I don't know why this went to this little thing right here. Now, I have covered this topic so many times, guys, so many times, saying, what I think, and at times, saying stuff that probably shouldn't have been said. Okay. So, after carefully thinking about this entire situation, I came up with a different approach in which I did talk about it in other videos when we discuss Anthony and Metcalf. Okay. And the thing is, like I said, I was on TikTok and I was watching a live and I was listening to some of the people and their comments and some of the things people were saying, some on Karmelo's side, some on Austin's side. And I just shook my head and said, this is plainly ridiculous. You had one guy up here talking about Anthony is a chump, okay, in prison. If a guy walk up to you that big, if he was in prison and the guy walked up to him bigger, he's just going to fight it out, and some other foolishness, okay, and just all types of foolishness. You had this Latino lady saying that when Metcalf pushed Anthony, he should have pushed him back and he should have grabbed a knife and blase. And the thing that I'm saying, guys, I am sick of people saying what they would do because they were not there. If you were not there and you were not in that situation, how do you know what any of them should have done? All right. And the thing about it, you got grown people sitting up here on YouTube, including myself at one time, sitting up here saying some of the most stupidest stuff. Okay. The thing is, Austin and you parents need to teach your children how to mind their business. Okay. And secondly, if a child tell you to stop, You need to teach your children to leave people alone. All right. Third, everybody should teach their children to try to walk away or de-escalate stuff. Period. The thing is, if you see something that should not be done, or someone is somewhere they should not be, you don't take that into your hands unless you are in authority. You go and get the person or people that are in charge. Let them handle the situation. Okay. And I know we are talking about kids. So I know kids will say stuff. But once the other child said, leave me alone, or touch me and find out, that right there is a clue to walk away. Just like when the other boy, Austin, said, you don't go to the school, or ask him, did he go to the school? And whatever else he said after that, that's another clue to say what you need to say and get up and be leaving, because you know something is going to pop off, you know? And I know everybody, he don't have to walk away. The other dude don't have to go call the coach. Yeah, the coach should have been called, guys. I'm sorry. The coaches should have been notified. Point blank. This is what's wrong with you guys now. You try to do everything yourself. You try to take law into your hand. You try to take situations into your hands when you should be seeking the proper authority unless you don't have a chance to. Point blank. If you don't have a chance to, then you do what you need to do. But don't sit up on YouTube seeing what this other young guy should have done and what the other one should do, and you were not there. Okay, you weren't there to experience when they start walking over and did whatever they did. You weren't there, so you don't know. And until we see the actual video proof, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I really don't. You know, everybody's sitting up here doing videos, making money, getting views, making money off of this. You know, but the only two people this situation really truly affects are Austin parents and Karmelo parents. You guys are not going to be there. You're not at the funeral, and you're certainly not in that grave. You're not going to be at the trial, and you certainly won't be incarcerated while he's there to help. So for you guys to sit up here and say, oh, he should have, Anthony should have did this, or Austin should have done this, you guys are crazy. Okay, you should be saying the right things. The right thing to do is notify the coaches. That's what they are there for. That's another reason they are there. They are the grown-ups. They are the ones that have the power, the authority to ask and remove this kid if need be. And another thing, why was it so important for this kid to make this other kid move away from the tent in the pouring rain? Okay? Well, why was that so important? And I don't see anyone tackling that. You guys need to be ashamed of yourself. You sit up on YouTube, you sit up on Instagram, TikTok, and all these other social platforms and give your opinion and say what you would have not done. But every single time I look at my phone, there is a topic on some grown person going around unaliving someone over foolishness. So you can't say anything. And that's on everything. You can't say anything. When some of you guys can go and unalive someone just because they said something to you and they did not have a weapon. You can be in your cars getting mad at people because they didn't pull up far enough at the other gas pump and you want to get to another one. And then you want to do all these hand signals. Then you wonder why other people go off. You can't talk about these two kids because you guys is where they have learned how to deal with stuff like this from. Okay. I mean, all of us are guilty of this, jumping off at people, you know, not de-escalating things. And that's why some people get themselves hurt or unalive. Let's keep it real. You guys got to do better. You should be saying both of those boys should have been going to get the coach. They should have not even did what they did. Austin should have never approached Karmelo, period. All right. And just say, even if he did speak out to him, once that kid told him whatever he said, Austin should have took his butt over there and got that coach. And then Karmelo, when he said no, come and touch, and Austin started saying whatever he said to make him say, come and touch me and find out, or if you touch me, you're going to find out. I feel like Karmelo could have just went over there and walked over there to the coach and asked him himself, period. And I don't care if you guys get mad, because if you would have did it that way, everything would have been de-escalated and none of this stuff would have happened. Austin would still be alive. Karmelo would not be in trouble right now. But you guys don't say this, okay? You're using race. You're using other stuff. You're saying stuff that you know you're not going to do. You people be saying, okay, if it was me, I would have just squared up. Yeah, that's what you say now, but yet you would go outside and somebody do something to you. And the first thing you do is pull out a daggone GUN. Okay, every story on my phone, I'm not lying, got something to do with some grown person of all race doing stupid stuff and unaliving people because of stupid situations. But it's hardly any self-defense, and that's on everything. So that's why you guys can get up on social media and say all of this foolishness and stuff based off of race, because you guys do the same thing, just in a different way. You're violent, some of you guys. You really are. That's why you can't understand what I'm saying when I say try to de-escalate the situation before it get to the part where you want to put hands on each other. That's why you guys can't understand where I'm coming from. But until you do, okay, and you implement this into your life, you're gonna always have situations like this happening, and maybe even happen in your family. Okay, because you have to teach your kids how to de-escalate stuff. My kids know how to de-escalate. Sometimes when I be getting into situations, my kids de-escalate stuff. Okay, they don't try to encourage me to do stuff. Just like true friends are not trying to encourage you to get yourself hurt or to hurt someone else. And I know kids will be kids because I have kids. I have taught in schools and stuff, and I know that they, will encourage. But the thing about it, if you teach your child what to do, they're not going to listen to their peers. They're going to do what they know to do. And not saying that these two parents didn't teach their kids. I'm saying in general, teach your kids how to de-escalate when possible. All right. Because that whole entire thing just really just went it was out of hand from the beginning. Okay. Now, what I don't still know is how far the coaches were too, because it would seem like to me that the coaches would glance over there every now and then. I don't know. It's just plainly weird. If you see a group of kids running to another tent, it seemed like one of the coaches would have ran over there, to try to break it up or whatever the case is before it even got started like that. So, like I said, I don't understand why people sit up here and continue to promote racism, to continue to say certain things, and they know that they are not going to do this. They know they're not going to do this. Oh, I'm a Latino, so I'm saying that Austin is a murderer. What does your race have to do with anything? Okay, we're talking about two kids, 17-year-old dudes that should be still living their lives. That's what we're talking about. I don't care what color you are, lady. And I wish that I could have got in that live, but I didn't know how to do it. And so that's why I couldn't say anything besides type in the chat. And the dude who was hosting it, he's not reading all those lives. They're going by so quickly. It's just plainly ridiculous. I don't even understand what's the purpose of doing a live if everything is going by so quick and you can't even read half of the comments. It's just plainly ridiculous. How are you getting a message through? And then he's laughing, acting stupid. Hey, DJ Q, what's up? What's up? What's up? He's laughing, acting stupid and stuff. I mean, what's up with that? It's nothing to laugh about. All right. You people need to stop doing that stupid shit. How is that funny? All right. And then you got the ones, Karmelo should have stabbed him. So if that was your son out there into an altercation, you just want somebody to stab your son, y'all stop talking so stupid. For real, for real. No, he shouldn't have been stabbed. The only way that self-defense should be used is if Austin physically put his hands on him, and I mean in a way where Anthony felt like his life was in jeopardy. That's what self-defense is. All right. So all of you people sitting up here talking about what you would have done, what he should have done, just hush it. All right. Because until you be in a situation where you have to use self-defense, you truly don't know. I have talked about it, and I am going to talk about it again tonight. Okay. So thank you for telling me about that again. I talked about it briefly yesterday and told people about the jury doing their deliberations. So I told them on my live last night that I will continue to talk about that tonight. So we will be talking about Casey, and I did talk about him in depth last week. Okay. So I will be talking about him and the other guy tonight. All right. Okay. So who is innocent? Casey is innocent. They already got the verdict. And thank you for tuning in, Nightingale. So they already got Casey's verdict already. Let me look and see. Because I know there was in deliberations yesterday. So they may already have it, but oh, wow. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about that, okay? That is crazy, man. I mean, but I'm not saying it's crazy that he's innocent, but I'm saying it's crazy in general, okay? Oh, wow. You know, honestly, let me skip from what's the name real quick. Honestly, with Kaysen and Joe, if you actually listen to that story, okay, thank you. If you put that on the bed, if you actually listen to that entire incident, oh my God. I don't know. We're going to talk about it. Is wild. We're going to talk about it tonight because that deserves at least an hour by itself. Let's keep it real and stuff. And I'll try to come on a little late, a little earlier than 10:30 or 11 or anything like that. I'll try to come in a little early because I have to go to work. So I'll talk about that later. Right. We're going to talk about that later. Okay. Kaysen, though, if I'm not mistaken, you said a straight up murder, huh? Listen, Joe, I read that Joe is the one too that went to that restroom. Oh, he was already in the restroom, right? And then when Kaysen walked in, and he claimed he did not know, Kaysen and his friend walked in there. He claimed he did not know that Joe was over there. Okay, that's what he claimed. And he said that when him and his friend, Brittle, I think, was trying to leave, he said that Joe is the one who hit first. But, you know, again, like I said before, I'm trying to figure out how did he manage to stab so many times. But in the heat of that entire thing, sometimes people do stab more than one time because they be so mad. Like I said, we're going to look into this tonight because there's a lot of stuff. You just can't sit here and just basically say it's good that he's innocent or it's good that he's not innocent or whatever the case is. You have to look at everything about this case because they got into it outside of after prom, right? Because one of them approached one because one was saying something inappropriate to, I think Kaysen was saying something inappropriate to Joe's friend or brother's girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So they got into a little altercation outside, probably a verbal one. And then text messages were sent where they planned to fight at a park or something. And so that fight did not take place at that park. It took place in that restroom. And I read that I think Kaysen asked his friend or something to get him a GUN. So this is that case right there is a hot ass mess. It's the only reason why it's kind of similar to Anthony's and Metcalf incident is because a knife was used, and they are both. All of these kids are kids, 17 years old. And again, even in that situation, where were the damn bathroom monitors? You guys don't ask the right questions. Where were the teachers? They were in school. Okay, in the schools my kids went to, and I lived in an affluent area, there were monitors who come inside of the restroom and check. Why didn't any teachers, why weren't they there? So again, we have to look at all types of things and try to determine why these things happen. Because once everything has happened, let's keep it real. It's almost too late to even talk about it. It definitely was planned, okay? It definitely was planned because they had planned to fight. Now, they claim they did not plan to see each other in the restroom, but it's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of weird. But I also feel like, Nightingale, when Kaysen and his friend were trying to leave and witnesses say he was trying to leave, I feel like he should have been able to leave, okay? Of course he had said he carried a knife because he was scared. He knew Joe was known, and Joe and his friends were known to jump kids, and they had already made threats to each other. He wanted a GUN, but I guess he couldn't get it. So he started carrying a knife. It's definitely worse. So I don't know why everybody is not talking about this. And thank you for coming over here telling me. I didn't forget about it because I talked about it briefly last night, and I told everybody we'll finish this discussion today, later on tonight and stuff. You know, because I've been keeping up with it. And like I said yesterday, they was doing their little talking and trying to deliberate. Is he innocent or is he guilty? But after looking at all the information, okay, how everything started, that is probably the reason why they said he was innocent. You say you're upset. Well, I mean, you can be, but we do have to look at every part of that story. All right. And I did read it. And it says, honestly, they both were willing to, squabble up. Let's keep it real. It's just that one person brought a weapon, but let me tell y'all something. Anytime you get in these situations where you're in the altercation, especially one that you guys are somewhat planning, always know that somebody may not keep it fair. They might bring a weapon. That's why, as parents, we have to instill in our children how to handle situations a little bit differently. Now, this was all over a girl, allegedly, about, I think, Case and Allison being inappropriate with Joe's brother girlfriend. Okay. And I think Joe approached Kaysen, and then it popped off, if I'm correct, at the after party for their prom in the parking lot. And then I guess it was broken up there because I guess the police came. I'm not sure. And so then they made plans to fight it out, squabble up at a park. They were texting each other, making threats and things like that. And how Casey managed to go to the restroom at the same time Joe was there, surprising. But he did say that Joe be at the restroom all the time. But if you know that a person is in the restroom all the time, why go to that one? And I did say that to myself because I'm pretty sure in schools they have more than one restroom. If you know somebody is going to be in a restroom, why would you go there? Well, maybe he wasn't thinking. Okay, but I don't know because I'm not in his brain. But I'm just still trying to figure out why would you go to a restroom if you know somebody is going to basically jump you. Because remember, he said that Joe and his boys are known for jumping people. So why would you go to that restroom? Simple as that. But kids gonna be thinking, and remember this, kids be acting hardcore, just like in Austin and Karmelo. Not saying, I don't think Karmelo was acting hardcore at first. I think Austin was, though. That's the reason why he came over there and did what he did. Okay, and then Karmelo did not want to look weak either. So that's the reason why he said what he said, instead of just going over to the coach and telling the coach and seeing what the coach say. And y'all, don't be telling me it was rainy. Y'all, please, you're not going to melt in the rain, okay? If you can go and do other things in the rain, you can get up out that tent and walk over there and ask the coach. Okay, I need y'all to stop saying that. Just like I need you guys to stop saying, well, he don't have to get up and leave. I didn't say get up and leave. What I said, go over there and tell the coach and see what the coach says, because the coach has the authority to tell you to leave or the authority to let you stay there. And then if Austin continued to do what he did, then whatever happens, happens. Just like if Austin came over there and started physically fighting him, like the dude said, that one witness claimed, then, in my opinion, Anthony had every right to defend himself. And it's not our choice or up to us to say what he should be using, because for the same people who say, why did Anthony have a knife, is the same people who would go out here and unalive someone over foolishness. Okay, let's keep it real. You guys don't walk away. You guys be trying to unalive people because they touched your car. I got a whole incident right there on my phone of a couple. They were walking across the street and the boyfriend touched the dude's Mercedes. The dude got out of his car and shot everybody out there. The boyfriend had his GU and he pulled his out and shot back at the dude. But the boyfriend's girlfriend got unalive. You see what I'm saying? And these are grown ass people. Okay? So miss me with that BS, because you guys know some of you guys are not going to de-escalate anything, and y'all are going to encourage it. Okay? Let's keep it real. We are all guilty of it, because I am myself. So the thing is, we need to learn to stop situations before it happens. Okay? And that's the same thing in Allison's case. They arguing and beefing and stuff like this, and look what it led to. Okay? But let me just say something. This Allison case has not been talked about like Karmelo case and Metcalf case. And I think Allison said that his family was threatened too. But that family has not been threatened like Anthony's family. Okay. And I think the other family was swatted. Now I believe, I'm not sure if Haysom family was swatted or not. I can't remember, but I promise you, these two cases are not handled the same way in regards to how the media is covering it or the public is talking about it. Okay, Haysom Allison is white. Joe, I believe, is not. Okay, just like Austin is white and Anthony is black. It doesn't even make any sense. Okay. The thing is, though, in both of these cases, I feel like it could have been de-escalated for real. And still, in that school, I want to say again, what happened to the bathroom monitors? The people who patrol the hallways and check the daggone restrooms. Because we know kids be in those bathrooms fighting, having SCX, and doing the most, taking drugs. Okay, we know this. And a lot of people have not said this. I don't know why. And also, too, I thought they check kids' bags when they come to school to make sure they don't have any weapons. What happened to that? This happened on school property. Now, people were saying, why did Karmelo bring a knife to the track meet? I honestly feel like, just like with that other dude, I feel like Karmelo had a knife all along, probably for protection. Okay. Right. He shouldn't have a knife, but we don't know why he had it. And until we find out, that's the only way we can really try to figure out why he had it, because we need to hear it from his mouth. All right. Hold on. Let me read these comments over here. Right. Well, we're going to talk about it over here tonight. Like I said, again, yes, definitely Austin was the aggressor. We know this. He should have never approached this kid. And just saying, because they're kids, he did approach him. Like I said before, once Anthony said he's not leaving, because I'm pretty sure he probably said, I'm not getting up, then Austin and his crew should have went right over there and told the coach. But I already know that they didn't want to do this because nobody wants to look weak. Let's keep it real. Just like Karmelo could have gotten up and said, okay, F y'all, and walked over there to the coach and asked the coach. But we already know that he wasn't going to do that either, because we know that kids, especially boys, and some girls too, they just do not want to look like they are weaker. Okay? Right. And that's why they should be talking about that case more. You know what? You know what? I never thought about that. He actually could be. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, but he could be. In that case right here, the one we're talking about now, it is a shame that the racist media is basically putting a hand into this foolishness, this racism stuff. The way they title stuff, they're not even waiting to see if this boy is found innocent or guilty, and they're calling him a murderer. You got people all online saying this murderer, but yet they won't say the same thing for certain people who just basically unalive Black people. Let's keep it real. Or unalive Latino people. They won't automatically call them a murderer. They will make up excuses why they unalive somebody. Like, for example, Trayvon Martin. Okay, that's one example. Okay, so I mean, it just doesn't even make any sense. I don't know why this is allowed to happen, and why certain Black people don't see this. And then you got the Blacks who are sitting up here saying, well, he unalived the dude. He should have fought him. He should have fought him and stuff. He's a punk. He should have, squared up with him. But they be the same Black people who go out here and will unalive you if you are in their neighborhoods and you shouldn't be, if you have on the wrong colors, you have on their colors, if you say certain things, if you touch their shoes, if you touch their car, if you talk to their girlfriend, and just all types of weird reasons. Okay, these are the same type of people that will unalive you for that, or will come right inside your house and try to take what you got and unalive you and your family in the process. So how can you say anything? How can you say anything? And no one is saying the true facts. The true facts is what I said when I first started this video, is that the coaches should have been notified by someone. Okay, you got people watching, and like that one witness, he's a grown man, and I know he had his kids there. So grab your kids and go over there and get the coaches and let them know that your students are about to fight. So why did anyone do that? Okay, why? Because if I would have been out there, I just would have went over there and went and get their coaches and told they over here about to fight. So you may want to get over here. And the reason why I know I would have done that is because I have done stuff like that before. Okay. If you don't want to get involved in the actual situation, you go notify whoever is in charge, especially on a school property like that. You know, it's public, but it's also owned by the Frisco Independent School District. And a lot of people trying to figure out what does that mean. It means that Frisco, they are in the city of Frisco. Just like here, we got Riverside School District, okay, Marietta School District, Temecula School District. I forgot exactly what they call it, but it's that. So each city has their own school district. The same thing with Frisco. I used to live in DFW. Okay, I used to live in Keller, Texas. It wasn't a Keller Unified School District. I forgot what they called it. I can't remember, but they had their own school district. Okay, and certain cities have their own, school district. So Frisco, big area, so they have their own school district, and they own that property. That's where the kids come and train or whatever, have meets there or whatever they do there. Okay, and so since the coaches were there, I don't understand why no one went to get them. It was more than one. Why was this even allowed to happen? If they would have got the coach when they first saw the kid sitting underneath the tent, he didn't belong there. I'm telling you, none of this stuff would have happened. Or when they saw Austin getting up or threatening to get up, and Karmelo said, no, he's not leaving. Somebody should have went and called, I'm sorry. And until you guys see that, you're going to continue to see things like this happen all the daggone time. So, what do you think about Nightingale if you're still here? What do you think about that video I showed where they called up Jeff and he went off on that group protecting white America? Do you think Jeff Metcalf was being serious, or do you think that this was all a stunt? Because it's hard for me to say. I know Jermaine said he believes it is a stunt, but it's very hard for me to say. I think that he might have felt a certain way at first, and he could still feel that same way. But I think it's bringing too much negativity and too much all types of stuff to him, and he's trying to protect his family too. So that's the reason why I think he did that as well. Because I'm trying to figure out why his son thought he could just do what he did. Why did he think he had the right to tell this kid to leave and to try to make him leave? Because remember, at least we think he said, I'm going to put you out of this tent. Okay, because Karmelo said, touch me and see. And Karmelo also said, punch me and find out, or something like that. So for me, that indicates that some kind of threats were stated. All right. And so when Metcalf clearly tried to touch him or did punch him, that's when Karmelo went in his bag. But remember this, Karmelo warned him. Mm-hmm. He warned him. So why didn't he heed to that warning? Because if somebody warned me and told me not to touch them, or if I see somebody grabbing their bag, and I don't have a weapon, even if I do have a weapon, okay, a school property is not worth me losing my life over. Okay, that's crazy. All right, that's crazy as hell. It's not worth me losing my life over. Point blank. Why would I be sitting up here, doing the most over some school stuff that when I graduate, I won't even be sitting underneath of it anymore. Okay, period. So if you grab your bag and you act like you got a weapon or something, because what if you would have had a GUN? You see what I'm saying? There's no way I would have tried to look like the big man, still mess with somebody. Because he warned him. We keep on forgetting that he warned him. And why didn't he heed to that warning? And then you hear people saying, Karmelo is a punk because he should have fought. If you look at his background, this kid did not get in trouble. He was and is a good student. He was the head of the football team and the track team. Okay, he had 2 jobs. So why do you think this guy is out here fighting and doing the most? Even if he did get into any fight, he wasn't like into numerous fights every single week or every single day. So why do you guys think that he would be, doing everything that y'all say? And just because somebody carry a weapon, it doesn't mean that they are a punk. So that means you guys are a punk because y'all carry GUNs? Does that mean that? Okay, there's a lot of people carry weapons. And right, he shouldn't have one, but we don't know exactly why this kid had one. I don't think he went there with the intention in his mind that he was going to have to use his knife at a daggone park. Okay? He was there on his phone, texting. Austin started messing with him first. So how is that premeditated? Anthony didn't say anything to Austin. You guys keep on forgetting that. So that can't be premeditated. He didn't know that Austin would come over there and talk to him and trip out and start saying stuff to him. He didn't know this. I believe Karmelo had that knife for protection from whoever messed with him. Okay? Because clearly something was going on that we don't know about, and he felt the need to carry a knife. He lived in Frisco. Maybe he was getting some kind of threats. We don't know, because they are not talking about this story like that. The police, you're not talking about the story. You don't see no leaked information, no anything. I'm pretty sure all these kids who was out here, I'm pretty sure they had their cameras up, taking pictures and doing videos. You don't see any of those, because when the police came out there, they probably confiscated every single camera, video, cell phone. So in those videos, we are going to see exactly what happened. Even if the voices are not there, you can tell by, what they do, what they're doing. Like if they're acting aggressive, you can tell who did what by their body movements. So if Austin got up, came over there, and started doing the most, made Karmelo fear for his life, all of that would show. And like some of you guys think, you think that Austin said everything politely. Well, he may have been a little aggressive, but he just graciously walked over there and said he's going to remove him and didn't do anything. And then Karmelo just took out his knife and stabbed him. If that's the case, that will show. Okay, but I honestly don't believe that's the case. I just really don't. Okay, deep down in my soul, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I believe that Karmelo feared for his life. Okay? For whatever reason. You are not him, and you are not afraid of the same things he is. Okay? You weren't there. It's just like when that dude ran up to my car and proceeded to jump on my car, and I had to hit him. You were not there. Some people could have backed up if possible. I don't know. But I did what I thought I needed to do to keep myself safe. Okay? And that's why that was self-defense. It doesn't matter what you guys think. Okay? It really doesn't. It doesn't even matter what I think. What matters is the proof that the jury and the judge will see in those videos, in what the witness say, especially if they are all consistent and everybody says the same thing. Okay? Point blank. Austin's brother, I forgot his name, can't remember his name right now. He has some inconsistencies with his story. Okay? Let's put that out there. No one is talking about this except certain people. You guys overlook everything. Okay? So, I understand that you are sad and you may get something misconstrued, but for the most part, you're going to tell the same story. Okay? Why would there be any inconsistencies if you are telling the truth? And then I still want to know how far the tent is from the other one, because some people say they was in the same tent in a different area, like on one side. Other people say it was two separate tents. I don't know. We need to find this out. Okay? Then we need to find out what exactly Metcalf said. And when he walked over there, did he actually punch Anthony? Because why would Anthony say, punch me and see, or punch me and find out, or touch me and see? Why would Anthony feel like he needs to say this? Was there a threat made? And did he try to actually do this threat, or did he do it and then they were just basically beating him up and he was trying to fight them back and then he went in his bag? Is that what happened? I don't know. Because according to one witness, he said they just went over there and started, they was arguing with him and things like that. He said that Karmelo was trying to use his phone. He was using his phone, texting, wasn't bothering anyone. Okay, I do believe that part of that story. Okay, now the dude said that they came over and started fighting him. They jumped him. If this is true, it will show in the video. Okay, in the videos, because I'm sure they got more than one. That will show in the video. And if that is true, there you go right there. Okay, I don't give a damn how hard you guys say you are and you're going to fist fight. You guys can't even do that with one person on the street. Okay, you pull out GUNs and start shooting. Let's keep it real. So, how are you going to expect a child who is out here trying to handle two big-ass dudes to just fist fight? He probably was scared. He probably did fear for his life. Because you know why? Because you see other Black people, men, boys, get physically assaulted and sometimes unalive in the hands of some white people in white police. Let's keep it real. So he probably already had a preconceived idea going on in his mind that these people right here may try to unalive me because they are white and he's Black, and because of how Austin would approach him. Let's keep it real. But none of you guys say this. Some of y'all live in the twilight zone. Do you not think that this type of thing does not happen? Because it does. I can go through my phone right now. Right now. Let me show y'all. I can look at my phone because y'all know I do breaking news articles, talk about many different topics, not just Blacks, but whites, whatever color. It don't make me any difference, okay? I can show you. Let me see if I got anything in my hand. And this could be any color, really. But I want to show you one. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Because I got to go all the way back. Wait. Before I do that one, here's the one where I was telling you about a 28-year-old girl was unalive because she touched a Mercedes. And this was in DFW. Okay, but you guys want to tell me that, Anthony, he didn't have to pull out a knife, but you guys are pulling out GUNs, shooting people because they touched your car. Okay, that's crazy as hell. And I don't know what color the guy is who shot this chick. This chick is white though. I'm gonna speak straight up with you. Let's see. I don't know.
Died at the hands of a random gun.
You probably can hear this. Listen.
All over touching a Mercedes. Amelia McGavro hearing from the family, hoping that their pain can create some change with the kind of violence in the city.
I felt dead inside. She was my everything.
It's been a little over a week since Mother Michelle Long and her family laid their daughter, 28-year-old Ashley Long, to rest. Never again getting to go on an adventure or send her a text.
We always say goodnight to each other every night.
Ashley is a successful real estate agent in the Houston area. Her family says she was in Dallas on April 5th for a networking trip.
Night out on the town and then being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
In the arrest affidavit, police say one of the men Ashley was with reached out and brushed his hand along the passenger side of a passing Mercedes as they were walking across the street. Investigators say that's when 34-year-old Kendrick Finch got out of the passenger side with a gun. The man Ashley was with pulled out his own gun from her purse. Police say Finch then shot Ashley and the man. The man survived, but Ashley unfortunately died in the hospital from multiple gunshot wounds.
It was heartbreaking. Nothing I could do. I was so far away.
It was just like I was in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. She would have been there 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes later. Things would be different.
After police searched for the suspect for days, video from Smash the Topic shows Finch turning himself in last Friday on murder charges. As Ashley's family now waits for justice.
And the thing about it, guys, this Finch dude, I can't tell what color he is. He looks mixed. I'm not sure. He could be Hispanic. I'm not sure. I can't really tell his color. All right. But the thing is, this whole entire act was senseless. So, the thing is that you grown-ups, some of you grown-ups can't say a damn word when some of you same grown-ups will go out here and unalive someone because they brushed up against your car as they was crossing the street. I guess the day the dude hit my car with his hand to let me know he was coming, I guess I should have took out a GU and shot him. That's stupid. I didn't do anything. I said sorry because I didn't see him. The police touched my car one day. I guess I should have just randomly took out something and then he would have took out his and probably shot me. That's stupid. Why do you, how do you guys tell this kid or tell us how this kid should have reacted when another child plus another one could have been doing anything? You don't even know what happened. How could you say what he should have done when you don't know? And yet you will go out here and unalive someone just for touching your car, for saying something inappropriate to your girlfriend, for looking at your kids, or whatever y'all unalive people for. Okay, it's just plain crazy. So let me give you another example. I want to find one that's racist. That's what I'm looking for because I have so much on here. Here you go. What about this black lady who was mutilated by 4 white men? All right, she didn't do anything to these men. They just did what they did. So maybe Karmelo Anthony thought that these white kids were going to come over there and F him up. So he had to use what he had to use. You guys were not there. Okay. You don't know what this kid faces in basically a white area. You just don't know what people did or said to him that made him think that he needed to protect himself. And it's unfortunate that on that day that situation happened and he felt like he needed to use this knife to protect himself for whatever reason. But I bet you he was in fear of his life because I don't see this kid just taking out no knife and just randomly stabbing. I just don't see it. He does not have a background that states that. Okay? He's not in and out of jail. He is not in the principal's office every day. And don't come to me about he was in a fight. I don't give 2 smacks about that. A lot of kids be in a fight. Okay. As long as they're not fighting every day. But people do be in fights. That does not mean that you are bad because you get into a physical altercation. It's the only way it means you're bad if you are doing this all the daggone time and you're starting it. As good as I was in school, I don't think I got in a fight in school, but I got in a fight when I wasn't in school. But as good as I was, didn't mess with nobody. I actually been in about 2 fights with chicks. in my whole entire lifetime, just 2. And I'm not a bad person. And I had to use self-defense on some men touching me. But I'm not a bad person. I just don't be playing around. So the thing about it is this right here. You don't know what type of fear Karmelo felt. And if he did not really have no fear, I'm pretty sure that's going to show in that video or those videos. Okay? And for you guys to sit up on social media running your damn mouth and you don't know exactly what happened, just like I don't. But I'm not saying that Austin deserved to be stabbed. I'm not saying that Austin them didn't put fear into this kid. What I'm saying is that these damn coaches should have been called. And somebody out there should have gotten them. Point blank. All you guys do is sit up here and make excuses for everything. And this is why sometimes you find yourself in situations. All right. Just yesterday, I was at the gas station. That's why I use that as an example. I'm pulling up to the pump, but I really wasn't getting any gas. I just wanted to throw some away. The car behind me driving so close to me, and he basically was trying to tell me to go up to the other pump, and then got mad and start putting up his hands and all this shit. Okay, so I did not de-escalate anything this day. Okay, like I said, we all are guilty of not de-escalating stuff. So I put up my hands and told him to move his ass back to the back. There's another gas pump right there. So, but he did de-escalate after that because he didn't say anything else to me, and I did not say anything else to him. I just looked at him. Because the thing is, though, we all need to learn how to de-escalate. When he came up behind me like that, and he doing his hands like that, I didn't have to say anything back to this weirdo. Just watch him, make sure he's not trying to do anything. But, originally I was trying to tell him that the damn pump had a bag over it, and I'm not going to the pump anyway. But at the same time, you guys, he should have been doing everything he was doing to make things escalate for me as well. So in that scenario, I think we both kind of escalated stuff by saying stuff back and forth with our hands to one another. And so what I'm saying is that as grown-ups, we have to learn, regardless of who starts something, to de-escalate stuff so it won't get serious. Because say if he would have did all this stuff and then I told him to go back to another pump, he got mad and took out his GUN and started shooting. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so you have to watch out for stuff like that. You can make things worse. Or I'm crazy as hell, right? So I started acting crazy as hell when he told me and started doing his hand up and doing all the other bull crap he was doing. I went in my car, got my GUN and started shooting. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. We have to learn how to de-escalate things before it gets serious. It doesn't matter who looks like the punk. It doesn't matter if you can take this person or this person smaller, bigger. It doesn't matter. Try to de-escalate. And I honestly feel in my soul that this entire Austin and Anthony situation could have been de-escalated, just like the Joe in the Case and Allison situation. It could have been de-escalated. A lot of things could be de-escalated. Okay, but I do understand if Karmelo Anthony felt like, had fear and he felt like he needed to use that knife, I do understand, if he felt like they were going to do something to him to unalive him, I do understand where that's coming from. Because you see a lot of situations like that, okay? You see a lot of situations. Look at the little boy who was in the gym, I believe, and they claim he got rolled up in the mat by himself. I don't believe that. A little black kid. So these type of things are probably replaying in this kid's mind, just like with Travion, okay, who George Zimmerman just was basically messing with that kid. Okay, he didn't even do what the police officer told him to do, or the dispatcher. Okay, so he did not want to be another one of those, or so many other countless black people who were unalive and did not do anything. Look at the jogger who was out there jogging, and all those two white dudes or three, I can't remember how many it was, did what they did to him. Okay, and again, look at this black girl right here, this black lady who was, hold on. Who was unalive, mutilated in April 2024. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. My allergies. She was 19 years old, okay? She went on a date with a white man, okay? The male suspect. All right? That's what she did. She went on a date with 20-year-old Maxwell Anderson on April the 1st, 2024. She was reported missing immediately afterward, okay? The following day, on April the 2nd, investigators discovered the 19-year-old severed leg on the beach. Then they found her car, which they burned up, and then they found many other body parts scattered in the surrounding area. 4 white men, including the one that she was dating, went on a date with, did this. So when you see crimes like this, along with other crimes that are basically done against Black women and men and kids, why are you guys asking, why did he have a knife? Why? He's probably been threatened before. So therefore, he wanted to keep himself safe. And even if he wasn't threatened, he probably heard of these stories on the news or on social media and felt like he's going to have a chance in case somebody messed with him. It's unfortunate that he had to use his knife that day. But I'm not going to sit here and say and act like I know what happened. Like I said before, if the video shows that he did not have to use that knife, he wasn't in fear of his life, then it is what it is. But if it shows that, then what are you guys going to say then? You're going to have another excuse, right? What if the video show that? Because if it does not show that, I'll say just what I'm saying now. It is what it is, and he shouldn't have grabbed it because that boy didn't do anything. But if it shows that he was doing a lot and caused this boy to fear for his life, then that's why he used it. And regardless of what happened, until he says out of his mouth why he was carrying a knife, I'm still going to say I believe he carried a knife because clearly he was afraid of something. Somebody could have been threatening him. He could have been scared because of all these incidents he's seeing on social media of Black people being unalived by white people for no apparent reason, both men and women, kids and all. There could be so many different reasons why he carries a knife. A lot of people carry knives. A lot of people carry GUNs. Some carry both, like myself. I'm not trying to go out here and unalive people, okay? But if somebody was messing with me that put my life in jeopardy or my kids, I'm going to use one. I have had to defend myself about 4 times. One time here and a couple times in, let's see, in Atlanta. Never in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, I don't believe. But definitely here when a dude ran up to my car and trying to jump on my hood in a fit of rage. Okay, I mean, some of you same people who say stupid stuff, like y'all say would have said, "Ooh, you should have let the dude jump up on your car. He was just coming up there to say something nice. He just was getting ready to cuss." No, hon. No, he wasn't. You weren't there, so you can't speak on it. You weren't there. You can let people run up to your car and jump on your hood and see where it's going to find you. Okay, but I choose not to do that, all right? Just like you can let people run up on you and do whatever they need to do while you try to fight it out with your fence and you don't know what they got. If anything, you would try to run away from them if possible. Okay, that's de-escalation. I don't even want to talk to them. I'm just gone. All right. Otherwise, or don't entertain when they get mad and just don't say a word. That's another form of de-escalation. But I'm not getting ready to stay here while you come to my car and basically, pull me out. I don't know why people do that. You can take off. You can, do so many things versus letting people do things to you. And again, as far as Karmelo and Austin, I really think that could have been avoided all the way around. People did not do what they should have been doing. I'm sorry, they did. And I just know that the coaches should have been notified because if I'm not mistaken, it was more than one there. It was more than one coach there. Okay? Point blank. So that's going to be it with this, guys. And I know people are going to continue to run their mouth and say weird stuff regarding this case. I don't know how long it would take for the a trial and all this stuff, because they got to go through all the other processes first. But I'm definitely going to be watching everything and keeping you guys informed of any updates regarding that incident. Okay. And I think when you guys talk about this, I don't think you guys should be out here, just automatically saying, what a person should have got stabbed. Okay. Because you have to put yourself in the parents' shoes. Okay. Period. And then you also got to think that these were kids. And I just think that it could have been de-escalated and this entire situation shouldn't have happened. And that's just, in my opinion, I think that's the best way that we should be handling this, because we don't know exactly what Austin did or said to Anthony, and we don't know what Anthony was feeling or what other type of things he experienced to, make him feel like he was threatened like that to that point, or if he was actually threatened, and he was fearful for his life. We just don't know these things and stuff, and it's not fair to sit up here and call people murderers in or say somebody deserved to get stabbed if you don't know exactly what happened, point blank. Okay. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos, and share and leave a comment. And let me tell y'all straight up, no, in my comment section, please do not put stupid racist stuff there, because if you do, first of all, even if it don't show to them, but it shows to me, I'm going to reply back, okay? And then you will be blocked. If you can say stuff, but just say it in a certain type of way. And you do not have to be for Anthony or for Austin. Just say whatever you feel. You know what I'm saying? But just say it in a respectful manner. Because what would it be like if I got up here just cussing and acting stupid and saying the most? It wouldn't be good. So, and that's another thing. You are escalating things, and this is why these children do not understand how to de-escalate things, because they are learning it from these crazy grown-ups, and that's on everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a blessed remaining day. Tonight, when I do my nighttime hour, I'll try to get in here a little earlier. And we are going to talk about Casey Allison's verdict. Okay, do we agree with that, along with the other stuff that I have? I didn't even know. Thank you, Nightingale, for coming in here telling me about it, because I was keeping up with it, but I forgot to check today. So we are going to talk about that tonight, along with the other things. All right, and I'm looking them up right now so I can get a story. Have a good day, y'all. I'll see you later. And y'all, thank you. Thank you to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. Greg, what's up? What's up? You're right. Kids. Nightingale, thank you so much for coming over here, reminding me about this case, because I actually forgot today, hon. Thank you so much. DJ Q was up in this place. Have a good day at work, DJ Q. Y'all make sure y'all check out DJ Q. Show him some love and support whenever he goes live again. And Greg, thank you so much for coming over here. You're right. Kids. You're right about that. But we, as grown-ups, have to teach kids by being a good example and stop saying stupid stuff. All right. Again, I'm going to leave this comment with you guys. The coaches should have been notified of the incident before it started. They should have been notified when Austin decided to walk over there. They should have been notified when they saw a kid sitting underneath the tent that shouldn't be there. The coaches should have been told, so the coaches could come over there together and see why this kid is sitting underneath this fence. Underneath this tent, if it bothered them. But I bet you the coach would have probably said he can stay there until it stopped raining. Okay. And what gave Austin the authority to think he needed to do this, or to continue on trying to get this kid out of the tent? All right. And why do you think, and this is actually questions right here. Why do you think Anthony carried a knife? Period. All right. So I'll see you guys later on for Night Owl Live later on. Make sure y'all check out my other videos. I just put up some YouTube shorts with the top 10 things you need to buy at Dollar Tree. Even if you don't shop at Dollar Tree, check that video out, guys. You can find some cute, good stuff there for the cheap. Why would you spend a lot of money on that cheap shit anyway? Why? Sorry, hold on, y'all. Why would you spend a lot of money on that cheap mess that is made basically in the same place? All right, so check that video out, guys, and I'll see you guys later on. All right, take care. Peace out. My ass is always getting choked online, you guys. Okay, I mean, I be doing the most when I'm on this video, eating, chewing gum, doing the most. All right. Oh my gosh.